Hey everybody! Welcome back! This week, our class is going into previews, so we decided to give the audience a little bit of a heads up on some of the historical context by interviewing the dramaturg, Skye Robinson Hillis, and her assistant, Erin Shea Brady, about what it is that they have been researching and talking with the actors and the designers and the director Nick Sands about, and how that affects the production itself and rounds out the world.
It's a huge show. There's more information to cover than in any show, I think either of us have ever worked on. Because the play, spans about 80 years, there is just, we can't even begin to scratch the surface. We created this 110-page source book that doesn't even begin.
The play is so specific too, so it's not like the play glosses over, the time periods. There's so many specific references that the actors really need to understand all facets of.
Fortunately, we have some genius actors, and they've all been very, very, excited and supportive of the dramaturgy in this play. This one, they all sort of, I think, knew from the get-go that dramaturgy was going to be their best friend. And they've all been really, really respectful of what we do and how important it is, and really, and I have felt like we were very, very useful, more so than with a lot of shows.
You need to have something for all of the actors to grab onto. The actors who are playing, the Polish Catholics, the actors who are playing, there's, you can't just kind of generally say this was a really bad thing that happened. It's more about digging into why and what the political perspectives were and what was leading up to it and why these people make the decisions that they make. And that has to do with little teeny tiny details. And all of Polish history, all at the same time. Beyond that, something that I focused on in the dramaturgy for the show was Act 2, and sort of what the psychological effects of the first act, how that translates into the later years for these people. And as an actor, I get excited by the psychological effects of the events of the play.
This play doesn't really take sides. This play doesn't really focus more on one than the other. It's all of these different parts of history and factions that come together now to look back on this time when they were split. You do have to be careful about bias, because obviously there's a lot of, when you are trolling the internet, you have to be very, very careful of what you're looking at and what you're trusting in terms of sources, because obviously, these are all very hot button issues that we're dealing with, and people fall on very different sides of it and are writing about it from very specific points of view. So you have to take everything with a grain of salt with something like this. I think the audience is going to be surprised by what they walk away with, and I think a lot of that actually has to do with the information within the play. And I think because it's not a Holocaust play, it's about 80 years worth of time and history and people, and I think that without the world that we have sort of helped to draw, that there's nothing for them to take away, but they're going to come away realizing things that they had never known about these periods in time.
I think what's great about this play is that everyone in the audience is going to kind of latch on to a different part of the story and to a different character and to a different experience, and allow that to inform the way that they walk away from the play.